promoted a rational reinterpretation of Islam. It was Sir Said who were constantly writing in the same manner, in the manner of rational interpretation of Islam, and as well arguing that the Quran encouraged the scientific inquiry and as well the critical thinking. He debated in Tahzib al-Akhlaq that it is a demand of the Quran that is making us to learn the scientific knowledge, to make a scientific inquiry about the things that has been mentioned in the Quran, and as well as it is promoting the critical thinking and the analytical thinking also. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan employed logical analysis to debunk the superstitious belief. What I said, belief in the jinn, in the evil omen, and he demonstrated how Islamic principle supported women education, interfaith coexistence, as well as a social mobility. He applied his logical analysis in the light of the Quran and tried to end up the superstition that the education, modern education, is not for the Muslim. If they will learn the modern education, so they will get distracted from their religious track. So he debunked such superstitious belief through his writing in Tahzib al-Akhlaq. This particular Tahzib al-Akhlaq laid the philosophical foundation for Islamic modernism, because Sir Syed Ahmad Khan had debated about the modernism also. He was against the conservatism. He was in favor of modernism. His Tahzib al-Akhlaq, his writing in Tahzib al-Akhlaq influenced the people. And his influence has extended beyond India. We found it directly reached Egypt, and Muhammad Abduhu learned about the writings of the Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, learned about the thoughts of the vision of the Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. And the thought of the Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, the critical thinking, the rational interpretation, this was admired by Muhammad Abduhu. And it was the effect of the thought and views of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan that Muhammad Abduhu had started his Salafi movement, which was to reconcile Islam with modernity, for the modern approach of Islam. This is the thing. The Sir Syed Ahmad Khan's approach in general of using Islamic theology to justify reform, it created a template for subsequent reformers facing conservative opposition. Dear learners, let's learn about what Aligarh movement is. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan used to think deeply after experiencing around him so many losses and destruction of his community, the Muslim community, that were at the vulnerable state. He used to spend all his time, he tried to spend all his time, day and night, thinking and concentrating how to uplift the wretched and the degraded Muslim community, and how to improve the relations of Muslims with the Britishers. He spent many sleepless nights in thinking over from where to begin and how to begin. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan kept himself busy in providing a sort of first aid to the community. He considered that he is the one to whom the God has entrusted the task to provide the first aid to his people, to his community. This was his. He had started to just analyze and ponder over the diagnosis of the disease which was providing or proving to be terminal for the community. He started finding out the root cause. What is the root cause for this deprived and vulnerable condition of the Muslims? In order to uplift the condition, he found out the conclusion that to promote education, to dispense education, it is an important tool that will provide that debating for the need of the modern education, the scientific education. It will provide an ample environment for the Muslim community, and which is the requirement of the age also. So, as he was pondering, he found the reason also that the Muslim doesn't want to acquire the latest education, the modern education, the scientific education. And very soon he found out the solution how to get rid of these things and how to induce the modern education among the people so that they can become self sufficient. And as they will become self sufficient, so definitely they will contribute in the advancement of the country as a whole. So he started looking toward the Britishers. And he tried to analyze, after all, what is the reason that the little Britishers are so progressive, so modern, so developed, and they are controlling almost the 50% of the world. After all, what is the background of behind this? That they are very little and they are controlling 50% of the world. How it is possible? So he traveled to England in 1969 to study such factor. That was the reason for the progress of the Britishers. He found the education, the military, the justice, etc., that has established the system of their education, the system of their military, and the way they are delivering the justice, had made them, had established them the supreme, established their supremacy, the supremacy of the Britishers. Then Sir Syed Ahmad Khan started encouraging the Indians that they should also travel to Europe to seek inspiration with regard to the wealth, strength, and wisdom. They should learn from them how they are a wealthy one, how they are powerful, and what the wisdom they possess, they had. It is through their wealth, strength, and wisdom they had conquered 50% of the world. Thus, Sayyid Ahmad Khan believed that the British system should be considered by the Indian as a model in the trade, in the agriculture, in the medical field, in the education field. He had a desire to share with his countrymen what he perceived from his visit to England. In England, he met with the nobles and renowned persons, and he used to talk about the conditions of the Indian peoples with the lords and the dukes of England. He also tried to meet several engineers and architects who were involved in the construction of engineering marvel in England, such as the railways, bridges over the big river, the canals, the tunnels in the mountains. When he was traveling the train, he found the train are crossing through the tunnel. He was very much astonished to know. So he met with the several engineers and tried to learn how they had done this. Then he understood it is the education. They had been taught these sciences, the modern sciences, the technological science, and they are applying these things. They have built the railways, the fastest means of communication or transport. He also visited the Cambridge and Oxford University to know the method of imparting modern education, to know about the curriculum, about the syllabi, and as well as its infrastructure, their style of the building, their research and development program in the area of science. He very keenly observed these things. And as he observed closely the virtues of the Britishers, he found how cultured they are, how mannered they are, and the way their infrastructure is reflecting, and the way they had set up their educational institutions. He closely monitored them. He followed how they interact with the people. He found. So he got admired the way the Britishers followed their religion. They were perfect in their religion. And they were not disrespecting the faith of the others and practices. They were only following there. They were not saying anything bad to their animal else faith. So this has very much deep impact on Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. He considered this is the basic reason that they are progressing. They are controlling the world. So he observed those noble attributes while holding in mind the plight of his mother, that this should be in our people also. So it was his utmost desire to adopt these virtues, what he saw in England. So in England, he prepared a blueprint that this should be the thing, the way to be implemented when he will return back to India. How to progress the Muslim, how to make them and part and parcel of the time. So he returned back from England. His journey was very successful. As he returned, he immediately started to work on his vision, work on his blueprint to change his people, to provide the environment to his people. And that was for the lifetime. At that time, no one was present at that in the community to think like that one. It was only Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. So, just to promote his vision, as we discussed Tehzeeb al-Akhlaq, he started Tehzeeb al-Akhlaq to write about his views and thought and his motives and his initiatives. He started writing out the purpose of education. So, this weekly journal has presented many aspects in due course of publication. He also formed a committee for the progress of education among Muslims. Gradually, the people learned him through his Tehzeeb al-Akhlaq. They started joining him. Those who joined him, he formed from within them a committee for the progress of education among Muslims. And he entrusted the task to this community to find out the reason why the Muslims are keeping themselves away from acquiring the modern education, the scientific education. The survey was conducted and they found that there was a thinking within the Muslim community that they believe by learning English is against their faith, against the religion. Because they were fearing if they will study English, they will become the Christian. They were considering this. And they also believe that the government school, the school founded by the Britishers, do not give proper religious education. So they didn't let their children to go to the modern school. Because they considered the modern school lacked the religious education. And the religious education, if they found it lacking, then it would affect their iman and somehow they will become the Christian. Then he had established the scientific society. The main purpose of the scientific society was to translate the best available scientific work of the English language into the vernacular Urdu language. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was inspired by the Abbasids and the Fatimid initiative in education. Abbasids established Baitul Hikmah in the 9th century. In the 11th century, the Fatimid of Egypt established Darul Hikmah. The purpose of both was to translate the best available work into the Arabic language. Now, the Sir Syed Ahmad Khan initiative was to translate the best available Western book in English and German, in French, any language, to be translated into Urdu language so that our people, our students who are comfortable with the Urdu language, they can learn and get enlightened with this work of the Western scholar. Then he has set up another committee also for a purpose of collecting funds so that the college should be set up. A college of modern education should be set up. Many people joined him in the collection as well as they have also contributed their money for the progress, for the foundation of the MO college and as well as later as well for the functioning of the college. Because this college was to provide the modern education, along with the authentic religious learning. Because when Sir Syed Ahmad Khan has established, he founded a theology department also, along with the mathematics, along with the other subject, the philosophy. He also established a department of theology so that the student can get their religious education along with the other education also. It was the head start of Aligarh movement. With the beginning of the project undertaken by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan along with his companions. I have mentioned the name of the companion like Mohsen al-Mulk, Nawab Mohsen, Maulvi Samiullah, Deputy Nazir Ahmad, Raja Jaikishan Das, and many more. And his companions, they embarked on the journey to fulfill the burning desire to bring the community from drowning. Though at that time the Muslims were unconcerned about their own welfare. It was Sachin who were constantly writing and delivering a speech, meeting with them, that why they are unconcerned about their welfare, why they are falling on the false belief that their false belief had led them to gradual decline also. Although we can say that it has the basically the people of that time had fallen to the lowest strata of the society. And when they were in this condition, they considered themselves as comfortable. They were not considering or thinking to come out from this comfort zone. They were lacking in enthusiasm. So, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, the main purpose of the foundation of MA College at Aligarh was to act as a saving lifeboat, to bail out the people and to elevate their conditions. Thank you very much.